Hey everybody, Mo here, and today I'm bringing you episode 2 of Sweaty Thursday. So yes, another week, another day, let's get it. So for those of you that don't know of this series, because it's brand new, it's the second episode, basically what I'm going to be doing is going over the 3 ladder decks that I would play this weekend to climb, and then also go over the Gauntlet lineup I would play if I were playing Gauntlet, or really any tournament this weekend. This series is mainly to help out the people that don't just have a lot of time to sit there and grind throughout the week. And really, maybe you work a 9-to-5 job, maybe you work Monday through Friday job, and, you have a family, you have kids, all that type of stuff. And Saturdays, the weekends, the only time you really have to relax or have free time to play, your favorite card game, Legends of Runeterra. That's who this video is meant for. It's also to help you out if it's kind of, halfway through the week to get you to that meta Monday. So it's to help you out to let you know if the meta shifted any and how to kind of prepare for the weekend meta specifically before it's time for that meta Monday again to take us into the next week. But before we get into this episode of Sweaty Thursday, I wanted to remind you guys that 68% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor, y'all have been killing it with the comments and subs and likes and follows. I really appreciate it. I think I had the most subbed 30 days in my YouTube's history last month. So you guys have been absolutely insane. I really appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get into the Sweaty Thursday. So we just got an announcement from Riot that there was no balance patch this week, like a lot of people thought there were going to be. So instead, we're going to be with this meta for another, week or two? I think another 2 weeks. Basically, the meta's not changing until a week before seasonals. And then a week before seasonals, we're getting a big balance patches. So for the time being, we are in the exact same meta as last week of Kai'sa and Ilaoi Bard kind of just dominating the meta. So what I have here is I have some decks that I would play at ladder, and like specifically I'll tell you the one that I'm probably going to grind. I don't play multiple decks usually throughout a climbing session. I usually just play one deck. I don't like to switch decks too often. And then this is the lineup I would play in tournament. So let's go over them. So number one is very standard, just Bard Ilaoi. Deck is insanely strong, still really good. The exact same list as last week, nothing's changed. Don't play Make It Rain. You don't need to play Make It Rain. Make It Rain is bad. You already smoke aggro. You don't need to play Make It Rain. I don't play Make It Rain because you don't need it. You already beat aggro. You play 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Like, you play Tentacle Slam, which is a removal spell and a blocker. You really don't need Make It Rain, I promise. Make It Rain is so incredibly bad in this deck. You don't need it. If you're looking to find out how to play Bard Ilaoi more, I have a deck guide, very in-depth deck guide on my YouTube channel. I made a video of it last Friday. And then in my Discord, I have the full written out thing telling you like what each card does, the purpose for each card, the power cards, how to play, how to curve, how to mulligan, how the game plans against every major deck in the game right now, an archetype. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Go check out that video and then join my Discord so you get that written deck guide. Deck number 2 is, of course, Mono Kai'sa. Yeah, deck's just nuts. Deck's pretty broken. Not much to say. Mono Kai'sa strong. I basically just ripped the best performing Mono Kai'sa list. Deck really good. I mean, there's really nothing else to it. Deck super good. It's the most played deck in the game for a reason. At worst, this deck has its worst matchup is 60-40. So that's really fucking sad. That the worst this deck has, or I guess technically 40-60. The worst it has is a 40-60 matchup. That's not good. This deck is broken. So this deck's insanely strong. You just play it because it's a really strong deck and it kind of just beats everything. Not too much in depth to go to on that. I might make a full-on deck guide on this. If you guys want to see another in-depth deck guide on Kai'sa like I did for Bard Ilaoi, let me know down in the comments below if you're interested in something like that. And now we'll get to the 2 decks that kind of are not basically just the best deck and the second best deck in the game. So deck number 3 is Bard Ilaoi. So, Bard Ilaoi, extremely strong against Kai'sa. I wouldn't say it necessarily like hard counters Kai'sa because nothing really hard counters Kai'sa, and they can always just beat you with their 2-mana deny. But you also play 2-mana deny, which is cool. So you play a bunch of homecomings. You play 6, I believe. Oh, 5. This version only plays 5. They play 5 to 6 homecoming. You play 2 deny, 2 notify, and basically recalls are really good into Kai'sa because they slam Kai'sa on 5. You say, okay, I'm going to homecoming you. And they basically have to have Hourglass. And you're one of the only decks that actually play Nopify. So you play your own 2-mana counterspell to their 2-mana counterspell. So you can do that. Also, something you can do if you have enough mana is you can like homecoming the Kai'Sa and then homecoming the Hourglass. You know, there's a bunch of things you can do in that matchup to have agency. And on top of that, you just play a bunch of elusive, so they can't block you. That's cool. You can keep, you know, buy time by bouncing the Kai'Sa back to their hand. That's cool. You have bad matchups into aggro really hard because aggro kind of just smorks you down. You're an Ionia deck, so not super easy for you to win with that. But you do play enough 1-drops, like you play 1 mana 2-1, so you know, maybe you're okay in aggro. Let's be honest, there's not much aggro going around anyways. You'll beat a lot of the mid-range decks just because you're elusive and you have recalls. You should be okay into Bard Ilaoi. You're not necessarily great into Bard Ilaoi, but you should be pretty okay into them because you can, like, block the Tentacle, homecoming away the Ilaoi, and they don't play counter spells, so the homecomings always stick. They don't have fast speed ways to remove your homecoming, so that's nice. You have deny for their rally, so you should be pretty good into Bard Ilaoi. Plus, you play a bunch of elusives, and Bard Ilaoi plays exactly one unit that's elusive most of the time. Actually, some of them play Zap Sprayfin, so yeah, they play a couple of elusives, but not nearly enough to stop you. And let's be honest, like all of their elusives but one is a 0/2, so they literally can't trade into you if they wanted to. So you should be okay. You have Highwaymen here to kind of make chump blockers if you need to. You can bounce that back, make infinite chump blockers. So yeah, this deck's really good. Recommend. Oh, let me preface something also. So highly recommend this deck. Anytime you see me mention a deck here, because I was gonna say it with this, with the next deck, which is not TF, but I figured I might as well say it sooner. Play decks that you know how to play if your intent is to climb. If you want to learn a deck, that's fine. Just accept the fact that you're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose a lot of LP. If your goal is to just strictly climb, get as much LP numbers as possible, play a deck you know how to play. If you don't know how to play Bard Ilaoi, it doesn't matter if it's the best deck in the game. Don't play it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose more LP than you would have gained by making mistakes. You know, if you don't know how to play Nami TF, which is the deck I'm about to talk about, which is what I was going to recommend, or talk about it there, I guess I should have said it sooner. Don't play Nami TF if your intent is to win and climb. However, if you do know how to play Nami TF, I put this on the list because this is what I'm using to climb right now, because I think this deck is insanely strong. I think Nami TF is really strong. I think when played well, you beat Kai'Sa, you beat Ilaoi. You beat Ilaoi Bard, you beat Kai'Sa. You should be... This deck doesn't have too many bad matchups when played well. The issue is this deck is really difficult to play well. I have literally over 200 games on the deck, and I still don't even play it, like, perfectly. You know, like, I don't play it perfectly. I still make blunders. I still mess up. So, and it cost me games. Like, I literally lost a game the other day because I missed out on 2 damage being a dummy. And lo and behold, I left my opponent at 1 HP, and then they killed me. So, like, there's a lot to this deck. But if you have the time invested, or maybe you're in an ELO or MMR where you don't have to play it perfectly, I would highly recommend this deck. I'd highly recommend learning this deck. I really don't see it getting nerfed in the patch notes in 2 weeks. So if you want a bomb deck to play in seasonals, assuming the meta doesn't like super shift into, I don't know. This deck should be extremely strong. So if you want to think for the long term of things and plan out for seasonals, plan out for future tournaments, this deck will also benefit you there, on top of the fact that, you know, play it right now, throw your LP early, so that way, you know, you get a 200 games and then you just skyrocket an LP. That's what I did. That's what I recommend to people. So this is what I will personally be playing this weekend. And also, again, just like last week, all of these decks will be, all the codes to these will be in the description down below. So if you want to play any of them, you want to check any of them out, go do that. And for Gauntlet / tournaments, this is what I would recommend for Gauntlet for sure. In tournaments, it also works, is just play Kai'Sa, Bard Ilaoi, and then Zoe Vi. This could easily be swapped out for like TF Nami if you know how to play it. The third deck can really just be any tier 1 deck that you know how to play, because these 2 decks right here are so strong, they'll carry you, and they will beat any bad deck that your opponent brings. Because let's be honest, in Gauntlet, people play bad decks all the time. Like 2 out of the 3 of their decks are going to be complete ass. So if you just have these 2 as a core, you will beat, you know, their bad decks 80+% of the time, just from deck strength and consistency strength. You know, your decks will just straight up beat them. And then so as long as your third deck is also just a very powerful tier 1 solid deck like this, then you're chilling. Like, just ban out their best deck. Like, ban out their Kai'Sa, ban out their Bard Ilaoi, ban out their Field Rush. Like, ban out whatever their best deck is, their good deck, and then just beat their bad deck twice, and you're big chilling. I went over this last week, Gauntlet. Gauntlet is a lot of just play very well, wait for your opponent to mess up or force them to mess up, and then, you know, capitalize on that punishment and, you know, just get your free prime glory, qualify yourself for that seasonal championship. So yeah, again, all these codes will be down in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed this week of Sweaty Thursday. Again, I know I didn't go too in depth of the decks, but that's because literally half of them here are the exact same deck that we'll probably see for the next couple weeks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really see anything beating these guys in the next, you know, at least next week coming up. So we'll see if anything shifts. But yeah, so that's what I would play on ladder, especially these three right here. TF Nami, if you're really skilled with TF Nami, or if you want to start learning, now would be a good time to start learning so you can have it ready for seasonals. And then your Gauntlet lineup should just be, you know, 2 really good decks this week will be really solid. And then this, I mean, this could be, again, Aphelios, PNZ, TF Nami, Heimer Jace is really good. Like, literally any, like, tier 1, any really good deck, and you're chilling here. But that's gonna be it for this week for the Sweaty Thursday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you're enjoying this series, if you're still finding it interesting, if it's helping you out. I know when the meta doesn't shift too much, it can sound kind of repetitive, but that's also kind of good to let you know that, hey, the meta hasn't shifted too much. So if you did something last week that worked really well, like maybe you have a super secret counter lineup, right? And it worked last week really well. Well, now I'm here telling you that the meta hasn't shifted, so you can try out that super secret lineup tech again and then hope it does well for you. So, you know, it's just to hold us over till Monday, Meta Monday, so we get more meta stats. And I'm just here twice a week letting you guys know, filling you in on the meta, what's going to be good into ladder, what's going to be good into tournaments on the weekend, stuff like that. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Join the Discord down below. Always looking for people to play games in there. I'm streaming in my Discord randomly, stuff like that. You get all the deck guides, in-depth deck guides, deck discussions. We talk about ladder, we talk about LoR all the time. So if you're looking for a place the competitive people go and talk about LoR, you know, my Discord is the place to do it. So join the Discord, link down in the description below. All these deck codes will be down in the description below. That's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.